starting the time. Oh, we've got 18 minutes. Here we go. So I start with a welcome. Welcome to the Magic 40 interviews, where we're talking to 40 health and wellness advocates over the 40 days, which is a fun and exciting and a big project at the moment. So my name is Maddie, and today I'm talking to Vivien, we're talking about various things, among which we're going to cover taking the leap, so what it's like to take a leap into anything new, trusting your intuition and how to allow that to guide you day to day and through these decisions, and finally finding the right resonance of vibration, finding what feels good, and allowing your life to be navigated in a way by that. So Viv, thank you for being here all the way from Thailand at the moment. This is like so exciting. We're going all the way around the world.
Tough time. Someone set out to do it, But thank you for having me. It's exciting. It's great.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about, you were born in the UK.
I was born in the UK, and then I met my husband there, and we moved to Sydney, Australia in 1999, and we were there for 18 years. We had our son, Zach, there, who's now 16. And then after 18 years, we decided that we needed a city change as opposed to a sea change. So we went to New York. And we just took a bit of a leap. We had no idea what we were going to do. We had no visa. We had no work lined up. We had no home. We sold everything and kind of held hands and jumped off the cliff together. And we landed there, and we were there for 2.5 years. And anyway, New York was great. It was a great experience. And I think... meeting Tara and Mike actually was one of the really good reasons for going to New York, apart from all the fun stuff as well. And then after 2.5 years, we decided that was enough of New York. And we've always had this dream to open up a different kind of wellness resort, more than likely in Southeast Asia. And so we took the leap again and left New York back in December, and we've been traveling ever since, looking around at various venues that we'd love to start this whole business idea.
Wow.
And here we are today. Yeah. So I've been living out of a suitcase for a long time.
Yeah.
That's all I have. No key. It's great. I love it.
Which can also be a really nice thing. So wow, what an amazing journey of altogether, and what an amazing step. But so you spoke a little bit about being in Sydney and things like that, and you've been doing yoga for the whole time, or did you just start in New York, or what's the...
Yeah, no, I learned. So I did my my initial teacher training in 2011 with Byron Yoga Center. That's north of Sydney for people that don't know, and with a man called John Ogilvy. And I was lucky as I started teaching straight away and doing workshops with John as well. And then I was able to, I found a great studio in by the beaches in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, and taught for Yoga by the Sea for about 6 years. And I was able to just do my own style there, which was really lovely. It was so freeing to be able to do that. And I was also teaching corporates and privates as well. But yeah, just over time, developed this idea of just moving in a slightly different way. And things kind of evolved from there. Yeah, so doing yoga all this time.
Yes, and then so when you were teaching, I mean, you must have had so much exposure to different types of people. And when you were teaching, is that how the idea of wanting to find a retreat for them, like a place where they could come away for, is that sort of how the idea came about?
Yeah, it was really about having a place where people could feel that everybody was accepted, that everybody was included, that there's so many stereotypical types of yoga out there, and people who, number of people that would come to me and say, I'm not flexible enough to do yoga. And you'd be kind of like, well, dude, that's a good reason to start. But hey, don't worry about it, because, this will be cool. Don't worry, we'll do it in a way that you can do this. So it was just really connecting with people, and understanding one size doesn't fit all. And wouldn't that be great to invite people to a place where they could feel at home, and there's no ego involved, and it's just a nice, easy way to move and being part of a community, and understand why yoga feels so great. There's so much unsaid in yoga classes that you go to. So many things aren't explained. I'm talking about the conventional classes out there that you rock up to, and there's so many terms, there's so much terminology that's thrown out there, and you're expected to know what that means and go away not really much the wiser, and having to follow either the teacher or other people, or not feeling adequate enough. And so we just wanted to create something that was a little bit more welcoming, open for everybody. Yeah.
We're very grateful for that.
Oh.
That's fantastic. And so I heard you mentioning that there can be, sometimes things that they're explaining. What is it about a yoga class that, is it that just that space of listening, or what are the elements that really allow us to feel a certain way after a yoga class? Like, I'm thinking for someone that's never tried yoga before, like, why should they go to yoga? Apart from, say, the physical benefits of being more flexible, or those kinds of things. What is it? What are the elements that do create that? And I remember you speaking to the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, right? Like, what happens? And
yeah, well, that's right. I mean, that's another term that's used in classes, and you're just expected to know what that means. And yeah, I mean, I did a little yoga brain workshop in Sydney, actually trying to explain that very thing. So, what does that look like? What is the parasympathetic nervous system? What does it look like? Is it even a thing, or is it just this kind of energy that travels through us? What is it? So, I did some very childlike drawings of the spine and the organs, and which ones are activated through this parasympathetic nervous system. But it's really understanding the science behind it, first of all, so that people can see there's a black and white reason why something happens. And then, with the yoga classes, it's really, linking that breath and the movement, I think, is the biggest way of feeling yoga. It's when because I know certainly with Strala, there's so many mentions of that as well. And you're holding the breath in, or you're trying to do a certain pose, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right at all. So it's allowing the breath and the movement to go at the right pace in your time, and just stretching into parts of your body that you didn't even know you had. And a nice description of that would be our son Zach, who was here last week. He's in London right now, but he was here last week, and we had a massage on the beach. And at the end of the massage, he said, "You know what? That was like a yoga class without doing the yoga." And I thought that's really interesting, because it is that kind of that feeling, when you're stretching the muscles, you're breathing oxygen into them, and then you're softening and just letting yourself just kind of move in this beautiful, effortless way that opens up little crooks and crannies in your body, and just stops you feeling so stiff, just kind of loosening you up. Yeah.
Amazing. And because part of this whole journey of wanting to talk to more people about health and wellness was exactly that. I'm 39, I'm going to be turning 40 and this year, and there's often a stigma around turning 40, and that's when your body, okay, that's when everything gets hard, and that's when
Right.
you get tight, and that's when
Right.
and I'm so determined that I really don't believe that. I just believe
Good.
It may be just a call to say, hey, stop, slow down. You need to take some time on this. You need to be, you need to be actively taking some time for self-care, taking some time for exercise, taking some time for breathing, taking some time, whatever it is for
Yeah.
you. But taking some
Yeah.
time to connect in that way that does make you feel like your son's back after after a massage, just when you are,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's that
Yeah.
release. And
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, absolutely. And by the way, 40 is so young. You've got a long way to go. 40 is,
yay.
40 is the new 20, isn't it? I think. Yeah, no, throw away that number. I mean, seriously, that's just so not important. But you're right. There's a stereotypical idea of where your body should be at a certain age, and that's why it's really good to just throw away the number, because intuitively you feel what's right. So I think I think 40 is a great place to be, because you have this you've lived enough years to be a little bit wiser than you were maybe when you were 30. And your ego is far lower down the scale. You can do air guitar at parties and not feel a complete tool, because you're allowed to do that when you're 40. But it's really taking that, it's almost like a decadent thing where you can go, you know what, no, I really think my body needs to move this way. And it's this lovely space that you give yourself to really look after yourself, rather than do the expected, boot camp or particular classes or anything like that. You're finding something that resonates for you. And I think that's the wisdom, the beautiful, wonderful thing we get as we are so lucky to get older. How wonderful. What a great thing to get older. I mean, that's a gift. Not everybody gets that, right? So it's a celebration every year, and it's just adapting, because there is no constant, it's constantly changing. So we change with that, and just move the way that, yeah, we want to move. And I think it's kind of like your almost like your birthright. When you reach a certain age, you're like, yeah, I get to decide. I can run my own ship. I can be the captain of my own ship now. And it's important that you check in and find out what it is that you need, as opposed to the set format.
And so, and so I'm just thinking, for someone that wouldn't, that maybe thinks there's some other way of living, and maybe does want to change. Maybe they're feeling quite rigid and or overwhelmed or stressed out, and feels that there's some space for change. What would you say to them? How can they start just checking in and connecting in the way that you're speaking to, and living with a stronger intuition, or building their intuition in a way? How can they
Yeah,
start checking in? What would be one of the first things you would do?
things that do. Well, I guess it all starts with knowing what you want. That's the first step. So if somebody thinks, right, okay, I want to do a bit more traveling, or I want to set up my own business, or start yoga for the first time, whatever it might be. It's knowing what it is that you want to start. And then once you know what that thing is, it's a question of checking in every now and then, and see how it sits with you. So I think, because there is constant change, it's just seeing how you float over that constant change. Does this thing still feel good to me, or does it not? I don't think you can make a decision overnight. I think you live with an idea for a while, and if it's still, you stop yourself, you have a quiet space, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, just for you to sit and hold that feeling. And imagine, a nice way to think about it is, whatever it might be, thinking about the thing that you want, and then thinking, right, okay, I have it. Imagine you already have it, and then somebody takes it away. So ask yourself, do I feel really upset they've taken it, or do I feel relieved? So then you can kind of get this idea of, okay, I've actually, you know what, I'm actually feeling a bit relieved. Maybe that wasn't the right thing. So it's little kind of tests that you give yourself along the way to check in and really, really understand on a gut level, trusting your gut. And only you can do that. Nobody can tell you,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I love that. I love that idea of just having a vision, knowing what I want, and checking in, just saying, if I had this, would it be, is it really what I want? Would it be
Yeah,
beneficial for me? That's just
yeah.
perfect. Thank you. That's amazing.
Oh God, no, my absolute pleasure. It's the difference between reality and a little dream idea. It's just kind of yeah, the reality check, I suppose, of the idea.
The reality check. So that's what we can do. Reality check ourselves often.
Yeah, yeah. And it's okay if it doesn't work anymore. It's also okay. It's all right to go, you know what, that was a bum idea. To
We're
know it was
allowed
a
bum
bum idea.
ideas.
Bum idea. I am an idiot. I'm gonna start. No, never say that. Never say you're an idiot. But just to be okay with change, because that happens,
Yeah.
right? Happens all the time. Nothing is constant.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really special. I feel like we've been given a really special moment, a really special lesson, a really special session, I guess, together. That's a really, really great one. And I guess that would always help to navigate us then in life. Like, it becomes not something that I sit down and do, each day rigorously, but when I catch myself, or even in the day, I mean, I can do it every morning, but even throughout the day, I can catch myself and think, hang on a second, is this, is this the where I want to be going? Is this the right choice?
Yeah.
Is this the right decision?
Yeah, because we all know when we fall off the path. We all know that feeling. It's a horrible feeling. It's
Yeah.
like, God, how many times do we say, I knew I shouldn't have whatever it was. So when you shouldn't have done it. But it's having the trust to know that when you are doing it, if it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just kind of having the confidence, and if it feels right, usually it is right.
Yeah.
Usually it feels right. It's right. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
um
Which then also takes the pressure off that big idea of taking a leap, doesn't it? It's.
yeah,
I mean, it can, and it often is a big change when we pack up and move, or go, anything at all, buying a new house or having a baby,
yeah,
or all those life changing
yeah,
decisions. Um,
yes,
but something like that, like feeling through and allowing our intuition to guide us, could take off the big pressure of it being such a huge thing, when you know that, yes, it's going to be a change, but you are taking the but you are taking
no.
no, we've got lots more to talk about. But I think that speaks so beautifully to how to approach change, how to approach new things, and taking the pressure off, taking the leap, or, or creating something new in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. That's amazing. Now, I know when we finish this conversation, do you want to show people the view from your window?
Oh, I would
Yeah.
love to. Absolutely. So, okay, so I am in Thailand. I'm in my hotel room because it was the only sort of quiet place I could be. But I'll just turn it to the window. So, I hope you can see. Can you see that, Maddie? Okay.
Yeah, I can. And so
You
Viv's going to
see.
be having retreats somewhere in Thailand. Look at that.
Somewhere around this beautiful isle. I hope so. I mean, that's what we're working on. So I'm having to use all these lessons we've just been talking about, because it's a big leap, but one I feel really, really strongly about, and I've certainly had to jump over many hurdles over the last few weeks, emotionally and physically. And but the root of it is that it feels, the idea feels so right.
Yeah.
I just have to be open to the change of the place, or if the
How-
place we think we're going to have here, it doesn't work out, whatever reason, it means that there's a better place somewhere else. So yeah.
If you want to reach out to Viv, at the moment, the best place to get her is on Instagram, and it's at Yoga with Viv. That's right. And
Yes.
I'll put it down below, and make sure it's in the comments below the videos so that people can find
Awesome.
it easily and click on that. And they're able to reach out by message with a message or even a private message or just comments in. And Viv, I'd love you to keep us up to date on everything that you're doing, on all the amazing,
Oh God,
all the
I
places that
promise.
you're going to, and
Yeah. Yes, I will for sure. Well, if you follow Insta, it'll be on there. And when we launch our new website, which will be in line with the retreat, then all the links to that will be through my Instagram. So I haven't been very big on social media, I have to admit, a little bit busy, but I will put it all up there. So yeah, and anyone can DM me, no problem whatsoever. I'd be happy to talk or answer questions or whatever. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Viv. And
Thank you.
we really, really look forward to seeing everything all the amazing stuff that you're doing, and yeah, all the just you. I would happily listen to videos.
I can't wait to hear everyone else's talks as well. It'd be awesome. It's such a lovely community. Thank you, Maddie, so much for the time and brilliant initiative. I think it's wonderful. Really do.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Viv. All right, have a beautiful day.
Thank you. See you.
Awesome.
Sorry, my husband's just boiling the kettle now.
Perfect.
In our hotel room, which is so small, there's nowhere for me to go.
No.
He can make me a cup of tea if you like.
Hi. Yeah, you need a cup of tea. We need a cup of tea.
You know, you can take the girl out of England, but you can't take the tea out of a girl. No, England out of the girl. John said he'll make you one if you like.
Oh, yes, please. I'm definitely coming to retreats with you guys. Cups of tea.
Yes.